All right, last time we did quarterbacks. This time we're gonna do running backs. Let's rank the running backs in MUT. Let's see which ones are really good, which ones are bad. Remember, this is my opinion. I've been wrong before. It's okay. Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmutcoins.com to avoid the packs, save some racks. Link is in the description below. Use code CC now for 20% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here talking about the running backs in MUT, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones you should get, which ones you should avoid. And I'm actually going to make this based on the console you're playing on. So basically next gen versus current gen, right? PS4 versus PS5 sort of idea, right? Obviously you can play old gen on a PS5, so just keep that in mind, okay? Because the game is very different. The game has different things about it. Let's roll into it today. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. So we're talking running backs, okay? This is two things, right? One, old gen, next gen, okay? Current gen, next gen, whatever you want to call it. Two, you passed your running back, okay? Now, if you are a next gen player, we'll start out with you guys, okay? There's very, very important thing here. The best running backs in the game are going to be power backs for you. Over 240 pounds. There's not a lot of them in the game though, and that is a problem. So we obviously have Derrick Henry, right? Now, as someone who has used the honors Derrick Henry and someone who still uses old Derrick Henry, I can tell you, you do not need honors Derrick Henry. He is faster, sure, but is he 1.3 million coins better? No, he is not. You could just use regular Derrick Henry. Now, again, he's not the fastest guy in the world, okay? He's going to break all the tackles. He can air truck. He can do all that great stuff. Any Derrick Henry card is going to be great on next gen. Now, there's a couple cards that you should be looking out for in the future if you are a next genner. One of them is AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon. He has an 88 right now in the game. 6 foot 247. If AJ Dillon gets a really, really nice card, he is going to be a monster within the game. Again, he's going to suffer from the same problems that Derrick Henry does with catching. Not great at that whole thing, but nonetheless, AJ Dillon will hit all the thresholds that is needed there as well. Okay, we get it, got it, good. Now, I'm not saying that's a good card right now, but just, hey, in the future. And the other card that we can look out for is Jerome Bettis. Okay, now obviously we know Jerome Bettis is kind of a big back, right? He's due for an upgrade. He's not the fastest guy in the world, and maybe he'll never be as good as Derrick Henry, but again, he's going to hit the power back archetype. He's going to hit the weight. Obviously, the break tackle, truckles? What is, that's not even a word. Trucking. Bettis is going to be good there. Okay, so if you're playing on next gen, I suggest you have a version of one of these cards, right? Maybe it's the 95 Derrick Henry. Maybe it's that 88 AJ Dillon if you're on a little bit more of a budget or something like that. Maybe you wait to see if Jerome Bettis gets an Ultimate Legend card. You can pick up some of those smaller cards, even like some set pieces that could go in there. Could be really good. Okay, now if you want catching, obviously Kamara to me is going to be the best one. Kamara is basically a receiver. Kamara is so good, but he is expensive. And that's why if you were going to use him, power pass is where I would go for sure. His price is, it's a lot. Use the power up pass. We're gonna get other running backs coming through. Reggie Bush is due for an upgrade. Could be someone else surprising, maybe we're not thinking of as well. Kamara is really, really good. Okay, not the low versions, just the fully high up version. Now, if we're talking about other cards which are a little bit cheaper overall, and you can get Bo Jackson for not too much. You don't have to buy his card. There's a training bypass for it, which is wonderful. You just need Bo Jackson's base card and a power up, and that's it. So Bo is a really good option here too. Bo is a little underwhelming in my opinion, and when you look at the stats and it's like, how, I just feel like he's a little underwhelming because I think he should play better, and he does. That's just me. Same thing with Barry Sanders. I feel like he should play better than he does. Okay. Cards have options here. Both are great cards if you want to add them to your team. By all means, I know so many people love Barry. So many people love Bo. It is what it is, but we're going to look at the rest of the running backs now. We've covered the big dogs there, the ones that everyone knows about, and that's fine. We all have those running backs and have used them and you know about them. It's about the ones that we don't see all the time. Okay? The ones we don't see all the time. Now, Arian Foster, Sean Alexander, put them together. They're good cards. One's a power back, one's an elusive back, but they're very similar cards, very similar in price point as well. They will do and get the job done for you as well, especially if you can pick up the 97 version of them, maybe a Redux. You know, it'd be coming, right? Not too bad, right? The cards are not bad at all. It's going to be like a fully powered up version of the cards. They are very good. They break tackles. They can do a lot of good stuff. When we talk about other cards here, Dalvin Cook, again, his card will always play good in Madden. And I'm not sure what it is exactly about it, but his card does always play good. Now his catching isn't all the way there, but again, that's fine. If you're throwing your running back a lot, you're probably going to have Kamara or Reggie Bush at this point, or maybe a JD McKissick or someone like that, right? But Dalvin Cook is nice. The problem with his card is he has a lot of steps along the way for other cards. Make sure you check the prices before you decide to go in on a Dalvin Cook. But I've always liked the way Dalvin Cook's cards play. He's just never he's never been the guy at like the top. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. Now McKissick here, again, there's no power up on him. Hey, maybe you don't want to use a power up pass or get Kamara. This is going to be the guy for now for you. Okay. A receiving back. Very good. Look at the 88 catching. This card can play. This card can play. He's kind of like Reggie Bush. Okay. He's kind of like Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush's next card will surpass him. When is that though? We don't know. But if you need a receiving back, McKissick is a really good option there. But again, from a receiving back archetype, there's not a whole lot of cheap cards out there for you. When we go to Corey Dillon here, again, he's a power back. He's not that fast. He can't catch. He doesn't hit the weight threshold. I would be passing on Corey Dillon unless you're going for a theme team at that point. And then Warwick Dunn is the other one. I haven't used Nick Chubb's card, so I will not speak on it at all. But I've used Warwick. Again, really nice running back here. A little pricey at times, maybe not, if you get him at the right time with these Reduxes coming out. But you're talking about a 97 speed running back, and he's really small like Barry. And there's something to that. Now, fumbles aren't a big thing either, so you don't really need to worry about that. I have used this card a little bit. I love him. He does great for me, right? I use him sort of with a pseudo Falcons theme team though. So I get if you don't want to use him necessarily, because outside of the big guys, you just pick who you like, because a lot of the running backs are the same, and they are going to be the same going forward. Okay, I want to stress that with the way that the overalls work this year and the stats needed to achieve certain overalls in the game. 97 overall running backs are going to look like 97. They're all going to look very similar. Same thing with 98s and so on and so forth, right? So if there's a player you like and he gets a 97, he's probably going to look like that Warwick Dunn card, all right? Or similar, or the Sean Alexander there. They're all going to look very, very similar. You should always just pick someone that you want. Cowboys fans, maybe you want to get the new Zeke. There's Tony Dorsett out here. Jonathan Taylor, I've never used, and I don't know if I've ever really seen anyone with him. McCaffrey is receiving back, again, is a cheaper option. But again, a little slower. He doesn't do as much. This card did not get any favors done to it, unfortunately. CMC is a phenomenal football player. This card is just not that good, especially compared to everyone else in the overall. Now, Ricky Williams, Todd Gurley, those class of running backs right there, both very, very good. They play well. They break a lot of tackles. But again, they fit in that overall mold there. If you want to get these guys, by all means, get them. Super balanced. You're going to see that across the board with running backs, okay? Don't overly stress. Like if you're not sure, like, that new Derrick Henry is kind of nice, I would like to have it. It's not worth the coins. Flat out, it is not worth the coins. I'm telling you that as someone who has used the card. Okay, he's just a little faster. Speed is everything in Madden, but you can get the speed elsewhere from some of these cards. Pick up a Jamal Charles, an underused card. I've only played against him on theme teams though, but this card is pretty good too. Very similar overall, fully powered up to Warwick Dunn. If you don't want to use Warwick Dunn, you want to use Jamal, by all means. I love Jamal Charles in the game again. Some of these running backs we haven't used a lot of or at all, simply because of when they came out. These are cards that existed at the time. Now, out of the new cards, Chris Carson here at 95 overall. Again, power back. Looks good, right? But isn't gonna hit the threshold there. If you're gonna get a power back and you're not worrying about the weight threshold or breaking the tackles and the better trucking animations and all that, just go get Bo. By training it, he cost you 250k to get full Bow or something like that. My math is right off the top of my head. And if this card wouldn't you like to use this card? Like, wouldn't you enjoy using this card? I want to use this card. You know, I would love to use this card. How sick would this card would be sick to use, but it's just too expensive. I hope they do something with these cards, these versatile cards. I just have a thought in my head. I don't know if you remember EA saying that they're going to do something different with the limiteds. What I would like to see is like the versatile version of the cards be the limiteds. That's what I want to see. I want to see this card as a 90 Cunningham. I want to use this card, but it's 500,000 coins. Crazy. Now, if you are going into cheaper options and running backs, again, I want to push you towards the direction of a Reggie Bush, towards the direction of an Edgerrin James was really good. The early Derrick Henry is still a good card that you can get for pretty cheap and used. Some of these other guys I haven't really used. I've played against Maurice Jones-Drew. I've played against Tomlinson and Adrian Peterson. These cards are fine. They do okay. But again, when you're getting into these price ranges, do you really want to be spending 100? If you got 100k on here, save up a little more and get a much better running back. Just save up a little more. Play part of a season, even if you lose out. You get the coins probably to pay for that upgrade there. Okay? If you're preparing for the future, Reggie Bush is obviously the guy you want to take a look at. Or Jerome Bettis if you're on next gen, potentially. But those are the running backs, the ones I've used, the ones I like. There's, again, not a lot I don't actually like. If you told me that I had to have one of the running backs, aside from Derrick Henry, that we've talked about, I would probably be fine. They would all probably play very similar, almost no difference at the end of the day. So get who you can within your budget and roll on from there. Again, if you need a receiving back, you want that backfield master for 1 AP, your choices are a little limited. If you don't use that, sky's the limit. Be great. Take care. I'm out. Peace.